in this little mini series of videos, what I'm hoping to do is to teach everyone how to add a pet feeding and breeding kind of sim to their games. So our goal is to eventually make a game where foxes can be bred in this little house is where the baby would be born, and you'd have a pet store where you buy the supplies for your foxes, and you'll have like a pen where you can put them out and buckets of food where you can feed them, and then the foxes will produce hearts. But because we're touching a lot of different systems to make this, we're going to do it one system at a time in each video to make it a little less overwhelming. So this first video, what we're going to try and do is just implement a new currency, because I need the foxes to give something off and I don't really want fox milk. So we're going to just make it so when you feed them, they give you hearts. So the first thing we need is for that heart currency to exist. I've already made the templates to, again, keep the videos a little shorter. So let's just go and learn about how to set up a currency. So if we go into our global database, we go into stores and currencies. If we click on the currency there, we can open the table here. We can also search our project content for the table name if we know it. So you see we already have a coins currency here. We just want to add a second currency below that. So we're going to call this one hearts. And the capitalized version is just the one that will appear to the player, but the capitalization isn't what matters. It's just as long as the IDs are accurate. We're not going to have a starting amount for this or a maximum for now. I do kind of recommend putting in max amounts of currencies if your game design allows it. It'll help you with not having to catch up with runaway economies. Next we need the icons. So let's go get the drop icon. And again, I'm just using templates I've already made. They're just art. There's nothing special about these templates. This template here is what the item pickup looks like. For now, we'll put that there. I might actually want to change that item pickup template. So this icon that we just pulled in is still the 3D heart that I made. It's just positioned a little bit differently than the drop. But because it's a 3D icon, you need this middle box checked. It says is 3D icon. So that's all you do to actually make the currency exist in your game. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. But if you want the currency to show up on the screen here, we need to add a little piece of UI for that. So if we go and we copy the one that already exists, this is the one you can see for the coin display. So if we can just paste a new one of those, we'll put it up there. We can rename it hearts. And down here in its custom properties, we have to rename that to heart so that it reads from the right column, or not column, row on your table. And then the last thing we need to do is just move it so it's not overlapping the other one. So there we go. So now we have a currency. If we play the game, we'll be able to see the currency display in the window. And the other thing that you need is to give the player this currency at some point when we're ready to. We actually need a drop to exist for the currency. So we're just going to make that now too, just so that we're already done this part. So we'll go up into the global database. What we need is the drops table. A drop is anything that some other system gives a player. And I'm just going to insert this row. I guess I'll do it with the other currencies. So down here, these are coins, right? These are already currencies, so we'll just stick it here. And we're just going to call it hearts single because we're only going to drop one. This notes column is completely optional. It's just a note to yourself about what the thing is. So a drop can be one of three things. It can be an item, a currency, or an upgrade ID. This one's a currency, so that means the item ID field and the upgrade ID field should both be empty. And this one should have the ID of the currency. And we're just going to drop one heart each time from an animal, and we're going to do that 100% of the time. So that's all we'll need for currencies. We are done this part. I will show you the next step in the next video.